Welcome to the new and improved K7's podcast. If you happen to enjoy the K7's podcast content, then consider leaving a sub over at the K7's podcast channel. Links left down in the description. What's up, guys and girls, and welcome to K7's podcast. And today it looks like we have some more very bad things going on at EA. This is no surprise to me. I talked about this a little bit back in a former video where I talked about Anthem and that being hosted by EA, also under, EA being under BioWare. So I've talked about my dislike for EA and how much I despise and hate them. And this is just another thing coming out of EA, which will go to prove my point. But before we get to my thoughts, we have an article here that explains a little bit more about what's going on. Apparently, it would seem as though EA had laid off some workers, and it never gets old. But anyways, let's get into the article, and once again, we'll get to my thoughts after the article. So let's just hop right into it. The headline reads, EA Japan has been closed down completely. All right, let's read the article. Yesterday, EA reported mass layoffs that saw 350 people's jobs affected. At the time, EA mentioned people in the publishing and marketing department would be affected, as well as EA's Russia's and Japan's operations. With that said, I don't think anyone expected that EA's Japanese operations would be closed down completely, which they now are. MSource reported today that EA Japan is completely closed down, which EA has subsequently confirmed to games industry. In a statement, EA maintained that it still sees Japan as an important market. I guess they will be partnering locally with Sony or some other publisher to release their games in the country now, much like Activision does. Russian media site Kanobi reported that EA Moscow's office in Russia had also been shut down, with EA's Eastern European office handling Russian operations for now. So at least there, we know how EA plans to handle its products in the Russian market going forward. Hopefully, everyone affected can land on their feet as soon as possible. Alright, guys and girls, as you can see there's the news. EA has laid off people at their company in Japan and also Russia. So those facilities have completely been closed down, as the article has just stated there. Now, for me, I think this is really bad. I also have former thoughts on what I think about EA. If you want to check that video out, you can click in the top right hand corner of the screen right now. You can see what I thought about the Anthem disaster and how I also feel about the company EA that we're talking about. Anyways, so it looks like 350 people has been laid off. Maybe there's more depending on the two companies in Japan. Well, the one company in Japan and the one company in Russia. I'm sure there's more, but this is probably what they're reporting on. I mean, man. Look, to me, EA did a lot of things that caused disappointment in my eyes, and they also lost my respect. And EA has continued to go downhill since they've been making these decisions of putting out disastrous games and just keep pushing out disastrous games with microtransactions and all type of bugs and everything to the source. It's insanity. And you can clearly see that with the Anthem game. Now, how I feel about EA firing these people and leaving them without jobs, I think that EA really doesn't care about anyone but themselves. Now, this is my opinion. This is my thought base. I don't want anybody to get raised out or anything like that, but honestly, to me, this is the truth, because we can see how EA is behaving in the sorts with continuing to put out disastrous games and now firing people just because they want more money. I think I know EA is very, very money hungry. They only care about their money and themselves. And it doesn't seem like they're looking at the consumers. They're not even seemingly looking at the people that work for them, because if they can just easily fire 350 people, like I said, there's probably more. But if they can just up and fire 350 people, then that's just wrong. Now there's 350 people or more that don't have jobs anymore because EA decided to say, well, hey, I can have more money in my pocket if I fire you guys and ladies out there. Hey, we don't have to worry about it. You guys can get new jobs. We don't have to worry about anything. You'll be all right. We'll just fire you. It's okay. You'll find something else. That's what EA feels about you. Instead of actually you being fired in a sense for buying their games, they put out a product like a terrible disaster game, a trash heap dumpster fire, bin disaster like Anthem, and people continue to buy it. People continue to buy their garbage. Individuals don't look into the game, and a lot of people don't really care about looking into the game. They just want to buy it. They just want to play it, and that's completely understandable. But this type of behavior from EA is not going to stop until people stop buying their games. They're going to continue to push out garbage. They're going to continue to treat people in this way. Now they've just fired 350 people, assumingly maybe because EA has been, because Anthem has been such a disaster. But whatever the case may be, it's still wrong for them to fire 350 people or more just because they can. And now, like I said, once again, there are 350 people out of work. They don't have jobs. And yeah, sure, they may be able to find more work. But in this day and age, and considering how the economy is doing, they may not. They may be out of work. And of course, they're going to get the money that they've made at EA, but they're not going to be able to have that forever. Once they run out of that back pay or whatever they've made at EA, that's going to be it for these people. They're not going to have any more money unless they find another job, or unless they've saved for a very long time and they can live off of that for the rest of their lives. But seeing as though, like I said, how the economy is doing and everything like that, and living expenses, I would assume not. Now these people are at risk of losing their homes, not being able to pay their bills, pay their debts, etc. Like all of these people, I'm sure a lot of these people have families, and now they have to think about where their next paycheck is going to come from. I'm also hearing reports that Anthem is doing even worse with their loot boxes. And since this is EA, I'm just tying this into this particular podcast because this is all under EA, so I might as well put it in here. EA's not dropping the loot that people want. As far as Anthem is concerned, like when you play the game, they're not dropping loot. They're not giving you the loot that you like, and Anthem isn't doing anything about it. They're just saying, well, hey, you can play the game. We don't care about what you feel about it. Just play it. Give us more money. We're going to put the microtransactions in there. You're going to buy it, and you're going to be quiet about it because we're EA and we told you to do it. It just seems like complete arrogance to me. And the major issue with this is that people continue to buy their games. Now, it seems like they did make a decent amount of money off of the Anthem game, which is quite disappointing. This game is a disaster, but many people don't look into the games before buying it. I mean, I don't feel like many people would miss out on anything for waiting a couple of weeks for buying the game. If you just waited to see what the game would be like before buying it, you probably wouldn't end up buying it. Because for me, and I told this story about why I do not support EA anymore, why I don't buy any of their products, and etc. And I'm sure there is also a lot of other people who feel like I do. And in that past Anthem video, I explained that those reasons. If you want to see that, like I said, you can click on the link in the description, or you can wait till the end card. But there were some more reasons that I didn't add, of course. But there's a lot of reasons why I despise and I hate EA now. They're just garbage. They're a huge trash heap, dumpster bin, disaster fire. And, you know, I stated also in that video that EA is not going to be around for the next 5 years or maybe even less. And I actually think that's a near possibility because of the fact of what EA is doing. And now they've just fired 350 people or more, and they've closed 2 facilities down of their facilities down in Japan and in Russia. This is ridiculous what EA is doing. And EA continues to be supported as though they're doing something good because individuals continue to buy their products. We have to stop supporting companies that don't care or give a crap about the individual. If you're the customer, if you're the employee who works at EA, if you're the customer who are buying from EA or in a particular company, in this case EA, you have to consider that, is this worth it? Is this worth me working for EA? Is this worth me buying from EA? Am I going to invest my time and my money and my efforts into something that doesn't give me the same something back that I'm giving them? Why continue to give to something or someone that doesn't give you the same respect, kindness, or love or support that you are giving it? It just doesn't work that way. And EA has emboldened itself with continuing to do this to people and not care about it. The loot box drops in Anthem, that wouldn't be a problem for EA to just say, you know, the people are buying this game. Why can't we just give it to them? Why can't we just give them the loot they want? It's not a big deal. The money is not about the money. You know, it's about the players having fun and enjoying the game. But EA doesn't care about that. They only care about the money. They don't care about your fun. They don't care about your enjoyment. And again, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. So don't destroy me in the comments or something like that, because this is what is happening. And now we have these people who have been fired in Russia and in Japan due to EA's lack of kindness, devotion, and care, giving back to those same very people who helped them get to where they are today. By just firing them. That's what EA has to say. It's just like a giant F you. That's what EA is saying to people who play their games and also to people who work for them, because they continue to do stuff like this and it continues to piss me off. And EA is such a failure and a disaster. No one, and I mean completely no one, should buy from EA ever again unless they started making improvements and showing that they care about their individual customers and people who work for them the same way that people care and put devotion in and support them. If they're not giving back the same in return, why should you do the same for them? Because you're getting the short end of the stick every time this happens, and EA feels they can get away with it because they continue to make millions and billions of dollars. But yet, they continue to fail. And they say, well, hey, if the consumers are going to keep buying it and the people are going to keep working for us and we suck, then, hey, we're just going to bamboozle everybody and just continue to make the garbage. We don't care. We're making billions and trillions of dollars. We could care less. They want to continue to buy it and they want to continue to support us. We put out garbage. Then, hey, well, we don't need to improve ourselves. You know? And that's just what it is. Hopefully, to me, I hope these people can find work. They've been fired from EA. I think they'll be much better off from now on not working at EA, considering that now. It's just unfortunate that now that there are a lot of people out of work, they don't have jobs. They won't have an income considering what they've already made. They'll have that for the time being. But when that runs out, if they're not able to find the jobs, I hope that these people will be all right and they will be able to find work elsewhere and find a company that actually gives a damn about them. Unlike EA. So I think this is really bad. And I think that this is really sad. I don't think this is good at all. And EA continues to do this. And it's not going to stop until the people say, I've had enough. Well, those are my thoughts and takes on this particular article. Let me know what you guys and girls think down in the comments section below. I'd like to know your thoughts and your opinions on how you feel about this EA firing from Japan and Russia and their facilities completely being shut down. I think, you know what I think. So I want to know what you think. Leave your comments below. Also, make sure to leave a like on the podcast. It helps out the podcast and it helps out the channel. Well, anyways, guys and girls, this has been K7. Peace. I'll see you all next time.